Believe it or not, some AUs are very interesting. So interesting, it becomes its own thing besides being inspired for the original thing. Of course, you don't know what is an AU. AU is basically another universe. This other universe is sort of based off any single IP, for example, like Villainous. But the only problem is a good AU is sort of created by the fandom, sort of understanding what the IP is so special, understanding the character designs, their personalities, and also their relationship with other characters. Understand those three specific things and just change it up with something very dynamic and keep the sort of core idea makes a great AU. There are hundreds of them, but usually all of them sort of fail. It's just a little, oh, nice art, but they never could get the story right or the character dynamic just right. Only a few handful, and this AU called Heroes, inspired by villains, that was sort of explosive because it's one of the few AUs they really understand the main core original idea. Understand Black Hat, Dr. Fudge, Dementia, and 505. Because this AU, it was sort of more well known than actually villainous. Because for a little while it took over. For a little bit. You know how AUs go. Something got really popular and died really fast. Unfortunately, it did die really fast because nobody really knows what to do with this new idea, this sort of fun idea. They'll still find a couple art here and there. But that said, the reason why they were so popular, and that's because they reversed the characters, they understood every little thing about the original, he subtly and manipulating know how to turn them different and still very interesting, always respecting the original IP, but yet becoming his own thing. And today we're talking about heroes. Now, before I continue, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you'll like how it's going, you'd like to help my channel, pull like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't, that's fine. We do, thank you, because every time you do, it really helps my channel because how small I am, it also getting close to my main goal to 1,000 subscribers. Thanks to you, I'm getting close because you put like, comment, and subscribe, and sometimes share. And I fully gratified you do. If you don't, that's fine. Now let's talk about the new AU that was sort of forgotten, but yet it was still live and sort of linger in the fandom of Villainous. Of course, depends how popular this video is in the villain fandom. If people like this video, I probably make a part 2 or a part 3 of other AUs from Villainous because there are a few handful that really does stand out because how creative and unique they actually are, and you can see the potential of those universes if done right. Now, for right now, let's talk about heroes. Now, to explain what is heroes is very simple. The idea of this AU is sort of reverse every single character of villainous becoming heroes. That instead of working of the villain side, they were the good side. Even that all four characters' personality sort of switch from each other. Black Cat is Dr. Flood. Dr. Flood personality sticks to Black Cat. And Dementia personality sticks to 505. 505 personality sticks to Dementia. And that's pretty simple. Simple concept, nothing really unique. But this is the thing I want to make it so special. Instead of understanding one of the things is what the original IP. The original IP is sort of the art design, how popular the original really is. You can understand how they look, you understand the personalities just by design. And they took the same idea and understood we had to do the same thing, but what they looked like they actually were good or backwards. This is what this AU is so unique. It understood that so well because compared to the original Black Cat in the new AU character White Cat, you could see what they took inspiration in how they switches backwards. For example, Black Cat, the original, has just sort of black and gray and a little bit of red just to say how evil he is and also how sharp he is. But the AU of Black Hat or White Hat is sort of backwards. They use a sort of blue and white or semi in between grayish to give this sort of pureness because black means pretty evil or something hideous, but white or bluish give it sort of positive or holiness. So it makes sense they changed that sort of color pattern. But on top of all this, they make Whitehead more smoother, more rounded. He sees more normal, charming, and more wholesome. And that's why he grabbed you so well, because he stands out. You don't know what his deal is, but you want to talk to him. To compare to Black Cat, you see him, you want to run away because the guy is terrifying. He also, you can tell something about him is sort of unhinged. That's what it does a really great character design, because he understood the original and know how to go in different direction. Now let's talk about Dr. Flood and Dr. Slug. Now, once again, Dr. Slug reversed his personality to sort of truly evil. How to describe him? He's sort of this sadistic evil who want to create and destruction, but also sort of maybe a little sarcastic because how tired he is working with Whitehead, because he realized he had to work in the good people section, not the horrific evil side. And tells a lot of story about him, how he got caught, or how he works with Whitehead. Now, the original creation, no one really go that in detail, and this is a good thing in AUs. You could fit it on your own backgrounds depending on how you feel about the story. But the design of Dr. Slug is sort of the same, but changed a few things. For example, his original design is there, his paperback, his blue shirt, his plain, his brown pants. The only two things they changed is his coat. They changed it with the black and his glove kind of red. Signal, give you that sort of signal that he is truly evil. And the fact that simple, small change really stands out compared to the original Dr. Flood. No, Dr. From the original, he has a sort of white coat with the yellow gloves. That's the only difference between those two. But because there's small differences, you could tell Dr. Flood is a kind person. Even how he stands, a sort of straight, narrow way, you know this guy is a sort of honest person, but you don't know how truly evil he really is. But because he chose to be evil, you really don't know his true intentions compared to Dr. Slug. Dr. Slug is truly evil because how tired, how he looks, how frustrating, just his sort of movements and reaction he has of the drawing. But they also ask some questions why he still worked with White Hat. You understand maybe he had to force it, or maybe he sort of likes working with them. Maybe he has some good in him. And that's how you understand good character design and the characters themselves. Now let's talk about Demencia and her double and called Climati. I know, not as original, but you get the idea what they're trying to do of the original design. Sort of compare and contrast, because Demencia herself, her design is more kind of gothic kind of look, that sort of kind of crazy, a little bit unhinged kind of type, but you actually understand her design and her character. She is sort of violent and destruction compared to Climati, that she is set up more bubbly and more calm, more outgoing than her counterpart. Demencia is more violent and destruction. The only reason they update when doing so much is the fact they just swap two different colors, the black and the red, changing it up to kind of grayish to kind of pinkish and kind of bluish to compare her green. That green can usually be sort of corrupted. Blue could usually be called sort of positive, pure, innocent if you go. Even that, they change that slight color change, but it also changed one major aspect is that Climation used a sort of pony kind of hoodie, and Dementia used a lizard or demon sort of hoodie with just a different color palette. But even that said, that simple change really sets them apart. In fact, you could say they're twins if they want to go that direction, but even that, you understand her personality so much because Claymation has that personality of 505, that sweetness, wholesomeness, that she wants to help a White Hat, but they are sort of a relationship, a positive one. That is very different from Dementia. She's violent and destruction, but she doesn't have a solid understanding of the relationship of Black Cat. That Black Cat denies her, and she adores that because she is chaos incarnate. But once more, compared to the Kalimasha, they fully capture that same idea, but the opposite. Just sort of nailed that so well that you blink and you miss it. And that's what makes it so kind of special because you don't really realize to actually compare both designs. Now let's talk about the second final character of this AU, 606 and 505. Now, the difference in those two is just once more the color palette, but even that small change does really stands out. You really get his personality because how he expression of 606 because 606 is sort of Dementia's personality, that sort of cruelty and violence. But according to the creator of this AU, that this version is probably is more lazy, nihilistic, violent, but always sleeping 90% of the time. That's why he has this sort of pissed off look, like almost waking up for the bed. Of course, if he does wake up, he becomes very super violent, very destructive. But on top of this, also kind of sarcastic because he won't laugh at people who basically make mistakes. But the character design compared to 505 to 606 is very simple. It's the fact 606 is sort of purple with semi low color, kind of grayish purple, to 505 being super light blue with kind of grayish blue. One simple change is their flower atop of their heads. The 505 have a normal four petal type of flower, and 606 has sort of a kind of a fly swatter death plant who eats flies, and that's the only subtle difference of both characters. But 505, to compare that character, he's sweet and calm, who doesn't want violence. To compare to 606, he wants violence because he craves it. But this is the interesting part because this AU dynamic changed so interesting because you understand how Kalmesha loves White Hat and how White Hat loves Claymasha. You could easily reimagine their personalities by making it sort of different because how 606 or Dr. Slug kind of reacts to it. That sort of disgusting sort of relationship, like they just don't want to see it. They just crave violence, but they have no choice, just have to write it out. Or how Dr. Slug doesn't really like White Hat, but he's sort of content doing his work. But even that how violent and destructive, you could see the reaction of White Hat every time he have that violent burst. But White Hat always trying to calm him down and just make him chillax. But you understand how the dynamics switch back and forth. You understand how 606 probably violent to White Hat, and White Hat let it happen because he knows he needs something to get out his own anger. That's why he still has control of this team because he is very patient, very calm, and very sweet. But that's what the amazing thing. The change of dynamics makes this AU just so interesting and refreshing. Even that it's the same dynamics of Villainous, but that subtle change they have feels sort of unique and surprising and refreshing. This is the reason why it was so popular because the character designs, their personality, how they change, and also how they dynamics, how they complement each other, and you can set them up any single direction. You get it. You get how this actually works so well. Of course, like every single AU, I said it before at the very beginning, it dies out because nobody really knows what to do. Maybe because the show only showed the first 5 or 6 episodes of the original one, so they don't know where to go. And this is the reason why they sort of kind of die off this for right now because we don't know later on the next 5 episodes of the first season and the other 20 episodes on development and change the game of this AU. This can actually blow up again in half the chance. But even that said, this AU has so much potential, so many different questions that you actually filler out using all the theories in the fan base and rewrite a different story. Something refreshing, unique, and also stay the same idea of the original, just make it backwards. That could be very tempting to for a lot of people to keep coming back. What else you can add up? And this is sort of the power of an AU. The what if? What if you kill off one character? One character killed off can change the dynamics, becoming heroes, become the original villains. Once more, and that's sort of the idea, understanding the characters. This was make this so tempting, so good, so well made, because the possibilities is limitless if you have the creativity. And this is the reason why it was so popular. So popular is almost overshadowed the original series. Almost. Not because they lack of material, that's the only reason they never really took off. But all of that, what do you think about this AU? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you want me to do another AU sort of character or AU breakdown? Tell me down below. Let me know. And how you feel about this AU. Do you love it? You hate it? You think it has potential? Tell me down below. Now, I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.